So today we will look at a new chapter which is cell structure and function, right? So here we have the first topic which is cell fractionation. Now our first topic is cell fractionation. Now what does the word actually fraction means? What is the meaning of the word fraction? Okay, so the word fraction basically means to separate out the cellular components. To separate out the cellular components is known as fraction, right? Now, what is the meaning of these cellular components? Basically, these cellular components means, wait a minute. What is the meaning of cellular components? Basically, these cellular components means we have certain, for example, organelles. All these in cellular components, organelles come, right? So the fraction means this. Actually, in this process, here two forces are utilized. Number first is basically density. I know density is not a force, but it is utilized over here. How the heavier object will settle down in the bottom and the lighter object will float in on the above, right? We will look at this, don't get confused, right? Okay, second force which is used over here is centri centrifugal force, right? Okay, second force which will be used over here is centrifugal force, right? So as you guys also study physics, so I think so that you are already introduced with this centrifugal force. Okay, now what is this? Okay, what type of equipment will be used? Okay, basically cell fractionation is a technique. It is a technique in cell biology which is used to isolate or separate out separate out cellular components, right? So basically, this it is a technique. Cell fractionation is a technique in cell biology in which we used we isolate or separate out cellular components, right? So cellular components means these organelles basically. Okay, now, okay, in this basically the equipment which is used in this is known as centrifuge. So here the equipment used is known as centrifuge. Okay, basically centrifuge is a machine. Okay, centrifuge. We use equipment which is centrifuge. Okay, here I have a picture for you guys which is of, okay, this machine is basically known as centrifuge. This machine is known as centrifuge. This machine is known as centrifuge. Okay, in this cell fractionation is performed, right? So now let's look at the mechanism how it's done. Okay, first of all, let's skip the theory. Okay, I'll give you the concept. Okay, the first is mechanism. Let's discuss the mechanism. What is basically the mechanism behind this, right? So first of all, what you will do, you will take a test tube. You will take a test tube. okay, which will be filled with tissues. Okay, make sure that you take some tissues. Okay, consider that these are all tissues, right? Let me write it over here. These are tissues, right? These are tissues. Let me highlight this too. These are tissues. Now what you will do basically, okay, here for example, here you will grind these tissues into small particles. Okay, consider that this is a kind of grinder. I'm not good at drawing. Consider that this is a grinder. Let me write it for your convenience. This is grinder. Okay, what we will do, we will put these tissues, consider these tissues in this grinder. We'll put these tissues in the grinder. Okay, remember one thing that in grinder, when you grind, like when you are grinding these tissues should follow, like they should have, or you can say they should maintain temperature, pH, and ionic composition, right? These things should be maintained. Temperature, pH, and ionic composition should be maintained. Okay, now what if, for example, if you are taking a plant cell, you should uh you should add a enzyme known as pectinase in the grinder, because it will digest middle lamella, right? So if you are talking about a plant cell, so you have to add an enzyme known as pectinase that will digest the middle lamella. Okay, after this, for example, this has been grinded now, right? Our solution is ready. This has been grinded. Now what will happen? Take another test tube and put this grinded solution in that. Right? Let me put the grinded. For example, I've taken F and I am adding this grinding solution in this. Okay, and consider that, okay, here I'm having my grinded solution. Here it is my grinded solution. Consider this is my grinded solution, and now this test tube, the grinded solution, is known as homogeneate. This is known as homogeneate. This grinded solution is known as homogeneate, right? So I hope this is clear to you. Now what will happen? You will take another test tube. Consider, like this is the test tube. I'm making here another test tube. I'm making here another test tube, right? And consider that here I am having this. Not current colors. Okay, this is the solution basically. Now what you will do? This is this homogeneate. Now what will do? You will give this 1000 G for 10 minutes. Okay, now what is 1000 G? It means that you will rotate. Basically, you will rotate this test tube, this test tube, this test tube. Okay, now what does 1000 G means? 1000 G means the power 1000 multiply by the value of G. Now what is the value of G? It is 9.8 meter per second square, or you can take this as 10 meter per second square. So you will multiply the value of G with 1000. At this rate, or at this power, you will rotate this test tube. What will do? You will basically rotate this test tube. Now what will happen when you will rotate this test tube? At the bottom, basically at the bottom, here the heavy particles will come. The heavy particles will come. Consider these are the heavy particles, right? Now these heavy particles are basically known as, like, they have been sedimented in on the bottom of the test tube. This is known as pellet. This is known as pellet, and this contains basically nuclei, or you say nucleus, and cellular and cellular debris. Okay, what will actually this pellet will contain nucleus and cellular debris, because they are the most heaviest one in a cell and a tissue. So first they will be drained. Now the lighter objects, consider that, okay, here are the, these are considered, these are the lighter. So this, okay, this portion is basically known as, these are known as supernatant. This is known as supernatant. Now what you will do, you will take another test tube, you will take another test tube, right, and you will pour this supernatant, you will pour this supernatant in this tube. Let me fill this tube. I consider I have filled this test tube, right? Now what I will do, I will again rotate this test tube. Now I will give more power to this. Now I will rotate this to, for example, 2000 G for 20 minutes. I will rotate this for 2000 G for 20 minutes. Now what will happen again here, the heavy object will sediment in the bottom, and it is known as pellet. Now this pellet basically contains, this is pellet, and it will contain mitochondria and chloroplast, right? This will contain, this pellet will contain mitochondria and chloroplast. And here, like the above one region, here what will happen, the lighter objects will float over here. So these lighter objects basically are known as supernatant. These are known as supernatant. Now what will happen, we will take another test tube. Again we will take another test tube, and we will pour this supernatant into this. Consider this, I am pouring this supernatant in this, right? My drawing is not good. Oh my god, what I've done. Okay, consider this. Okay, now what will happen over here, basically here the heavy objects will settle down in the bottom, and it will again known as, it will be known as pellet. And this time this pellet will contain microsomes. Now what are microsomes? Microsomes are actually small particles of the cell wall and the cell membrane, right? And here basically there will be some kind of supernatant. Here will be supernatant, which will basically float over here. This is which is supernatant. Now what will happen, we will, now we will take another tube. So this is the last tube, and we will fill this with the supernatant. We will fill this with again with the supernatant. Now we will pour this supernatant into this. Now what will happen? Okay, here there is pellet, right? So this pellet will now contain, now this is a pellet and it will contain ribosomes. It will contain ribosomes, and here we will having the supernatant again, but this will be like what will again, if you want to again refine this, so you can, but these ribosomes will get this ribosomes, right? So I hope this is clear to you. This technique of cell fractionation is clear to you, even though I have tried my best to explain you guys as I can. So I hope this is clear to you.